Alright, so good to have you tonight on our Sunday News special. Tonight, we have quite an interesting and juicy package for you, and we believe when we open the bulletin, you will not want to go away. I am Miriam Ikbutu, and with me tonight is
Ufot Udakan. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening and welcome to Sunday News Special. Alright, the headlines. Akwa Ibom governor's wife urges principals, head teachers to sensitize students on drug abuse.
Reporter examines good and bad sides of star fruit, 5 fingers, and consumption.
And on the marital front, should couples tell each other everything?
Reporter x-rays health benefits of shedding tears.
Alright, this and lots more in our package tonight. Just sit tight and stay with us. Alright, so good to have you again with us tonight. Principals and heads of schools have been charged to prioritize the sensitization of students on drug and substance abuse to curb its increasing surge as well as address challenges associated with it. Wife of Akwa Ibom State Governor and Chairperson Drug Control Committee, Pastor Patience Umoino, gave the charge during an advocacy meeting organized for principals, compound masters, and counselors of schools in Eket Federal Constituency held at Government Secondary School, Afar Eket Local Government Area. Margaret Barsi reports.
Stressing the importance of addressing problems of substance abuse in schools, Pastor Patience Eno described it as a critical issue that threatens the well-being and future of youths, resulting in long-term damage to physical and mental health, thereby spurred the increase in crimes. Represented by the secretary of the committee, Mrs. Esther Ukpe, the governor's wife advocated that a war against drug abuse, WADA Club, be established and reactivated in schools to help equip students with knowledge, provide social skills, support to resist from drug abuse, and promote a safer community, while soliciting the collective efforts of stakeholders, teachers, and parents to sensitizing students. The First Lady noted that to foster a safer environment requires intentional approach and effective collaboration.
War against drug abuse clubs will be established or reactivated in schools to equip our students with knowledge, provide social skills, and support to resist drug abuse and promote a safer community. The committee looks forward to collaborating with you and other relevant stakeholders in this fight to curb the menace of drug abuse in our state. I humbly request that you give us the necessary support and cooperation required.
Mr. Nsidebe Francis, who gave a keynote presentation on responding to substance use challenges in schools, estimated that 14.3 million people between the ages of 15 to 64 use drugs. Also stated that its complexity requires an interdisciplinary approach. Mr. Francis urged school heads and parents to look out for a child who displays unexpected changes in mood, become more secretive, associate with a new group of friends, absenteeism and sudden decline in school performance, sleeps or eats too much, even steals or sell his possession as warning signs of drug abuse.
Brain development goes full circle at 21 years of age. And if they get to use these substances in secondary school, when most of them are less than 21 years of age, it means that it will affect their brain development.
An overview of the Akwa Ibom State Drug Control Committee was presented by Mr. Isaac Davis, who noted that the committee inaugurated on February 2023 is saddled with the responsibility to address the growing challenges of substance abuse in the state and has recorded significant milestones through commitments to evidence-based strategies.
The Akwa Ibom State Drug Control Committee is committed to evidence-based strategies, ensuring that its interventions are grounded in research and best practices to achieve sustainable outcomes.
Participants, including the host principal, Mr. Esemen, thanked the committee for prioritizing the well-being of students through desensitization, expressing the hope that it will help curb youth restiveness and return normalcy to their respective schools.
I so thank God for Our Excellency Pastor Mrs. Umani for sponsoring this program. It's going to go a long way in helping us in schools to make sure we don't have restiveness again.
The event featured demonstration on drug abuse and interactive session by participants. Margaret Bassi, AKBC News.
Yeah, I will say kudos to our First Lady, our mother, and yes, I will say it is important to sensitize students on drug abuse as it helps to raise awareness about the dangers and consequences of substance abuse. By educating students about the risks associated with drug use, they can make informed decisions and avoid falling into harmful behaviors. Preventive through education is key in addressing drug abuse and issues among young people. And I would say just going, making it happen at one place is not really the issue. I want to suggest that the committee should go from school to school and make sure every student in the state is inclusive in the awareness campaign.
And let me add there, it's important to catch them young at that age.
Exactly.
Because should they grow that age and still continue in drug abuse, we imagine what the society will be in the nearest future.
Yeah. All right, the next story.
Now, nature has blessed man with healthy diets and fruits that can nourish his body and increase his lifespan. One of such is star fruit, which is very common in our environment. But how many people know the importance of and effects of these fruits is the reason Aaron Paul brings these reports.
Our people are so used to fruits like mango, pear, oranges, pineapple, pawpaw, and others not minding an important one like the star fruits. Star fruit is a great low-calorie snack that provides vitamin C, fiber, and antioxidants and is getting increasingly popular. Star fruit, known as carambola, is a sweet and sour fruit that has the shape of a 5-point star. The reason it is called five-finger fruit in Akwa Ibom. The skin of this fruit is edible and the flesh has a mild sour flavor that makes it popular in a number of dishes, and sometimes it can be mistaken as okra. The star fruit is yellow or green in color. It comes in two main types, a smaller sour variety and a larger sweet one. For its nutrition fact, the star fruit is a decent source of several nutrients, especially fiber and vitamin C. A single medium-sized 91-gram star fruit contains 3 grams of fiber, 1 gram of protein, 52% of vitamin C, 4% of vitamin B5, 3% of folate, 6% of copper, 3% of potassium, and 2% of magnesium. Though the nutrient content may appear relatively low, the fruit has 28 calories and 6 grams of carbs. This means that calorie for star fruit is very nutritious. Star fruit is loaded with healthy plant compounds. It also contains other substances. The plant compounds in star fruit have been shown to reduce fatty liver risk and cholesterol in mice. They are also being studied for the ability to prevent liver cancer in mice. Some evidence from animal studies suggests that the sugars in star fruit may reduce inflammation. However, research to confirm these potential benefits of star fruit in humans is lacking. For safety and side effects, star fruit may cause adverse effects in some people, mainly due to its high oxalate content. Therefore, people with kidney problems should avoid star fruit and its juice or consult a doctor before taking it. For people with kidney problems, eating star fruit regularly may lead to kidney damage as well as star fruit toxicity, which may cause neurological problems such as confusion, seizures, and even death. People taking prescription drugs should also proceed with caution. Similarly to grapefruit, star fruit can alter the way a drug is broken down and used by your body. So, how can one eat this fruit? Just make sure it is ripe. A ripe star fruit should be primarily yellow with only hints of green. Rinse the fruit under water and eat everything, including the seeds. Ripe star fruit is fleshy, crunchy, and juicy, and has a sweet and slightly tart taste. Smaller star fruits are more tart than the larger fruit. Ripe carambolas may have a fermented flavor or taste sour. You can eat star fruit raw on its own or with other fruits. Try pairing the fruit with avocados, kiwis, mangoes, and bananas in a fruit salad. Cook it as part of a main dish. Star fruit is used in many recipes. Carambolas have many helpful nutrients, but they also contain a substance called carambozine that is a neurotoxin. That means it can affect your brain and cause problems in your nervous system. The symptoms of star fruit poisoning include hiccups, mental confusion, seizures. It's even possible to die from it if you have kidney disease. Though star fruit and other fruits are good for the body, take what is advisable. Consult a doctor if you have some ailments before taking certain fruits. But in all, enjoy yourself with star fruits. Eyageno Paul, KBC News.
Yes, so for I eat a lot of these fruits, and I know fruit like star fruits, according to research, and 5 fingers have both positive and negative effects on health when consumed. While these fruits are generally considered healthy and nutritious, there are some potential side effects to be aware of. Star fruit, for example, are rich in vitamin, just like the reporter has said, which can boost the immune system and promote overall health. However, they also contain natural compounds that can be harmful, and when we are taking it, we should not overuse or overtake it. I used to eat a lot of it, countless. I won't number how I take, but from this report, and I know I shouldn't consume as my appetite desires.
I would have loved to ask, did you go for a test to find out your kidney problems before consumption? Because the reporter there outlined some of those side effects that before you take it,
and
find out from your doctor,
the side effects. The earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof, so we are protected.
Yes. Now you take
okay. Is it essential? This is like a question for people in relationship to tell each other everything. Is it a fact that open and honest communication to a partner is a sign of love and trust and faithfulness that brings about happy marriage? A cross-section of your residents spread their minds on this when a reporter, Augusta Shane, spoke with them. Let's listen to them.
Communicating fully and openly without holding back some information is believed to be one of the keys to a successful relationship, especially long-term relationship like parent-children, siblings, business partners, but most importantly, husband and wife, because in relationship, partners are supposed to be each other's rock. However, everyone has a right to privacy in their relationship, and observing one's partner's privacy is a sign of respect if they won't contribute positively to the relationship. What is important. In other words, information can be intentionally withheld by persons in relationships, especially if such information are experiences and thoughts that are embarrassing, shameful, fearful, and may harm the person's reputational status. Whereas knowing everything about one's partner is exclusive, alluring, promotes trust and intimate emotional connection, keeping secrets or telling half-truth will haunt an individual, hurt the relationship, introduce mistrust and betrayal in relationship. This, according to marriage counselor and psychologist McGregor White, 2021. So, should couples, for instance, tell each other everything, especially about their past, and most importantly, while in the relationship, and why?
There could be phases of, opening up. There are times that such issues may be necessary, and there are times that it may not be necessary.
Support depending on who type for the you don't want for the because there are issues of Bogota maybe go send talk because if I see bad again young I didn't to so I was sending for Bogota maybe we call the family for coffin.
Husband and wife supposed to be they open up to each other. There's understanding. Interrogate my other person. I don't know how to meet them. When you say we're in the one, I can get it. I get that again. I don't know that I will say to the family, maybe you're going to something. Maybe you're everything. I can be that order. I don't know a senator. When I'm going to get the
you shouldn't add anything. The once is trust, okay, the love can still continue. But based on the financial issue, there are some people that don't like opening up.
But they said everything.
But I say something like that. But
you think couples should be open to each other fully?
Sincerely, can't say anything now.
Yeah. According to experts, although revealing all secrets risk rejection or loss of trust, respect, maintaining a secret which should have been told before marriage also carries cost because they have a way of seeping into relationship, whether prompted by cues in the environment or lingering fears that once passed may come to light. Respondents agree with Jonathan Bennett, a relationship expert, in his book, Double Trust Dating, that keeping a few thoughts to oneself can be beneficial at times, especially if he listed goals and aspirations, medical conditions, financial status, previous relationships that ended in engagement, marriage, child in or out of wedlock as things that must be told. But to conceal such information as dislike for members of spouse's family, inconsequential threats, doubts about his or her success rate, beautiful experiences with one's ex.
That's some things. I don't want for the tango. I say like I work with Chai Kusang. I can be nobody get a come from your word. So any pastor for, so any prophet for.
But ideally, at times we may not. There are certain things we may keep, but there may be time for it. Sometimes they may remain for life without it being necessary for it to be said, so you keep it.
There may be no correct answer to whether couples should tell each other everything. However, by being mindful of each other's ability and maturity to handle information, knowing the time, where, and how to relay such information, understanding their needs and preference, respondents say couples can find a way to communicate that works for them to keep their relationship healthy. Research also shows that keeping secrets can significantly boost stress hormones impacts blood pressure, contributes to mental health and substance use disorder, and even increase chronic pain.
Definitely in a whole, nothing should be kept back, but we should know when to say what.
For me, I don't think I have to allow my wife to know everything concerning my cash. There are some women that like shiny things, they like eating money.
Conclusively, but it has also been established that if revealing information will serve no purpose or will hurt feelings, because total honesty isn't always the best policy, it is better to let sleeping dogs lie. Augusta Isian, KBC News.
Well, in a healthy relationship, open and honest communication is key. However, the decision to tell each other everything in marriage especially can vary from couple to couple. Some couples may feel comfortable sharing every detail of their lives with each other, while others may prefer to keep certain aspects private. It is important for couples to establish boundaries and mutual respect when it comes to sharing information, while transparency and honesty are important for building trust and intimacy in relationship. It is also important to respect each other's individual privacy and autonomy. Ultimately, the level of disclosure in marriage should be based on mutual understanding, trust, respect for each other's feelings and boundaries. So, Oford, will you tell it all? Let me just ask you that.
Well,
or have you told it all? You are married now.
I have. I think I have no reservation for anything concerning my wife or myself or my business, so to say. Like the reporter there rightly said, some have reservations in telling their
like one of the respondents even said it. You tell them they'll use it to play coupon and the rest of it.
That is when it has to do with money. What about other issues
exactly
in marriage? Yeah, we find out that some couples do not reveal such secrets. And peradventure, what happens if you are no longer there?
But what happens? Will you call that? The scripture says that 1 + 1 will become 1. Are there one when you keep some aspects of your life to yourself?
There should be one, because I would love to say this biblically. If Adam had told the wife Eve that fruit you want to eat is a forbidden one, I don't think she would have dared test the fruit or give it to Adam to eat it. And
that Adam also ate the fruit. He knew that fruit was not to be eaten.
I'm sure if he had told the wife.
Okay, the wife wouldn't have started the process of bringing it to him.
Yes.
Okay. All right, take the next story.
Now, the next story has to do with women and the legislature. The National Council for Women's Society, NCWS, has commended the House of Representatives on the passage of Women's Bill seeking to alter the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria to provide for a seat reservation for women in the National Assembly and State Houses of Assembly. According to statement by Acting National President of the Forum, Geraldine Etu, the landmark achievement is a significant step for gender equality and representation in Nigeria. The passage of this bill, she said, is a testament to the tireless efforts of women's rights advocates and organizations, including the NCWS, who have worked tirelessly to promote gender equality and challenge the status quo. The NCWS applauded the House of Representatives for taking the bold steps towards empowering women and promoting inclusive governance. The Council charges the Nigerian Senate to follow suit and pass the bill without delay so that Nigeria can join the ranks of countries that have made significant strides in promotion of gender equality in governance. Now, would you say that is a right step?
Yeah, of course, I'm all smiles. I'm just smiling, and when I heard women and the passage of the bill. You know, the passage of the bill to increase representation of women in the National Assembly can have several...
And the states too.
Yeah, and the state, can have several positive effects on women in Nigeria, especially the younger generation. You know, they see these women as role models, and that they could, you know, aspire to become, you know, better representation of women issues and concerns in the legislative, like such as gender equality. We talk about that, and women's right, health care, education, and child care. You know, these are issues, a woman knows how she feels. These are issues that are better expressed the way you feel it. And so to pass this bill is one of the joyous thing that has happened to the women fold. So we are truly happy, and we appreciate the House of Representative members for passing, and we are praying that the Senate will do, you know, the needful so that women will have their reserved seats.
I think we should also commend the men who are in support of that bill.
Of course, they know exactly what to do. And so we are going to take a short break now, and when we come back, Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development distributes cassava cuttings, coconut seedlings to cooperatives, farmers groups in the senatorial districts.
And also we have in the story, Donald Trump survives assassination scare in Pennsylvania. This and more after the break. Stay with us.
Alright, so good to have you back with us. Many things cause people to shed tears. One of them, perhaps, may be the present economic situation in the country. While some people cry for help when they are down or sad, a lot others cry for joy, and they call it tears of joy. But the good news is that tears have great health benefits, as revealed by our Queen of Special Report, Eyageno Paul, in this report. Why people cry and why men don't shed tears. Wonderful. So let's get going. You will tell me if you cry.
Shedding tears is a natural human response to various occurrences. It could be as a result of emotional or physical pain, economic, social, political, or academic gains. It can even be as a manipulative method to get one's way. Women are said to cry more when they want to express their feminine strength as a defense mechanism. Men, on the other hand, have been taught from childhood that men don't cry. In Nigeria, tears are no respecter of gender due to obvious reasons, including the harsh economy evidenced in the high cost of goods and services, resulting in low standard of living. But the question is, why do women cry a lot?
Sometimes even for the take good care of you. I'm making neighbor for that a bit come on here from
because even I don't bother here soft hearts memesa more I got so much I don't follow clean the message. I don't know what
even I need a soft mind. It's in them naturally, so you can't hold it that long. Women cry when they are happy, and they also cry when they are sad.
They cry because some of them have good hearts, so they expect people to treat them better. So if you don't treat them the same way you treat they treat others, they tend to cry a lot.
Even in hard situations, African men hardly cry. Does it mean that they are not emotional? Are they hardly touched by circumstances, or they do not have tears stored in their eyes?
Men know how to control their emotion when things happen. You know, you can see men going through a very tough situation. They know how to suppress the pain and at the same time think of, you know, a way forward.
As a man, the nature of a man have to be strong, physically and spiritual. That's why men doesn't cry quick. You know, if the man can endure, the woman cannot endure what the man can do.
Me as a man, I don't really feel much because I always think ahead. I always expect that such things gonna happen. So I always prepare my mind. That's why men don't really cry.
If anything at the Pagano is a Imam Kama. So you buy in years at 9 years. You are a strong guy.
Crying means different things to different people. It may be a prayer to some and consolation to others. But the good news is that shedding tears have health benefits. As such, they should not be suppressed in order not to miss out of the range of benefits. Tears detoxify the body. It helps to soothe self, improves mood and sleep, release toxins and stress. It can heal, correct and alternate stress. It fights bacteria and improves vision, according to a psychologist with the University of Uyo, Dr. Mfon Ineme.
In psychology, shedding of tears is a ventilation. You are venting what is inside of you, you are airing it out, and it helps to relieve the mind. It helps that the mind will work well. It also helps to even wash the eyes physiologically. And because you don't vent, as you grow in age, you start coming down with so many psychophysiological implications, like internal heat. You may end up being so confused in life. Some people become aggressive unknowingly. But if you totally want to show you are a strong person, you are tempering with your old age. It will affect you much later in life in many ways.
In fact, it is always said that when a child cries so much at birth, he or she will be a great singer. The health hazards of tears include having a puffy eyes, splotchy skin, headache, stretching of facial muscles, fatigue, runny nose, glowing face in the public, and tears carry enormous weights. With all these benefits of tears, will you still hold back? If yes, try not to hold, even as a man.
Please, we should stop this idea of saying, so that Odin will refuse to cry. Even when the thing is bottled up, even when the emotions are built up so much, they will know, oh, you're a man now, you're a man, don't cry, be a man. Even if it means taking the person out to go and cry in his room, let him go somewhere and cry. Instead of stopping him from crying at all. Crying is not a show of weakness.
Seriously, you can now engage in crying competition in Africa, Nigeria, or Akwa Ibom to get enough benefit of tears. Most of all, may you shed only tears of joy this new year. Eyageno Paul, A. KBC News.
Tears. Why men don't cry. In fact, I think I should start with Ufod here. Why men should not cry for any reason. But tears do have several health benefits, and some of them are emotional. It releases. Crying can be a healthy way to release pent-up emotions and reduce stress. It can also help you to feel better and more relaxed after a good cry. Cleansing the eyes. Tears can also help you to keep the eyes moist and free from irritants. They contain lysozymes, do you know that lysozymes, yeah, and my optician told me that one time, yeah, and so it can really help. But my question here is, why shouldn't men cry? Is it that they are not emotional, or whenever, in fact, is it that they are not emotional? I think I should.
Well, you wouldn't say men are not emotional, but I want to tell you, the economy of these days will make men cry. You know, like the lady said there, that the cost of gari in the markets and other foodstuff, that the women alone can't bear the burden, and so men in the house who can't afford those things, who cry internally, and you know, that alone.
Don't you think it's dangerous to cry internally, whereas you release it and free your soul from stress, from burdens?
That if the tears will really come out from them, you know, like the reporter says, that men are hard-hearted, and so that could be some of the reasons men don't cry.
Please learn to cry out so that you don't bottle up something that could cause you more danger, could cause more danger to your health. All right, go for the next story.
Now let's take the next story on agriculture. Cooperative organizations and farmer groups Friday smile home with farm input courtesy of Akwa Ibom State government. They were given the inputs at the agricultural at Academic headquarters. Now here on the poll has the rest of the story.
Presenting the farm inputs to the beneficiaries, the Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Fiongofo, said the present administration is concerned about producing enough food for consumption in the state and to export. The reason the inputs are given to all sets of people and farmers in the state. Dr. Fo advised them to produce the inputs, which included cassava cuttings, coconut seedlings, and chemicals, in order to have enough for the next planting season. The Commissioner used the occasion to call on individual farmers to form clusters either in the cooperatives or farmer groups so as to benefit from government's free inputs, promising them fertilizer soon.
Each of these groups are in 50 bundles of coconuts. I don't want to improve variety. Malaysian hybrid. I'll come in yellow, come in green. Because those things are very expensive. So government they come in one bag, I mean, say give them a good in no monsignor, he born in Ibom, may I am video in any. It will not need out and some of our pass on yam. They get one of our monsignor.
The Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Mary Kwete, saluted the farmers for their resilience in ensuring food sufficiency in Akwa Ibom, advising them not to sell the inputs.
Please, you are all here to collect this free from our dear governor. Maybe I don't money and it all for it. I had a pastor more. Am I no monthly? Receive it in good faith.
The former Director Planning, Research and Statistics, Mr. Moses Akpan Urabon Brown, and the Programs Manager Academy, Mr. Emma Ekanam, all praised Governor Moino for his interest in agricultural revolution, advising the beneficiaries to make judicious use of the inputs. While a former Director of Agriculture in the ministry, Mr. Emmanuel Akpan, gave lectures on how to cultivate the cassava cuttings and coconut seedlings.
What has been transpiring here in the last 1 month, where inputs of different kinds have been given to farmers. This is made possible, I think, by His Excellency.
On behalf of the people of Eket Senatorial District, we have seen that Kese Moinamami, I didn't make sure that Akwa Ibom in due course, I had a food basket. The way I say to different places, Lady Akwa Ibom, I didn't go.
Here to really thank God and our amiable governor for bringing this golden era into agri-practice.
You can use granular coca.
Eyageno Paul, KBC News.
Well, how do I start? I say thank you to our governor. He's so generous and Is a farmer. I should say, is a
Yes.
farmer. Our governor is a farmer, and providing farm inputs is crucial, especially in the current economic climate. It will increase productivity. Will also increase generation, higher productivity, resulting to the use of quality farm input will result in increase of income. It also can lead to sustainable agricultural and resilience to shock. When providing farmers with access to farm inputs, it can also build their resilience so that shocks like pests and climate change will not affect them. So we thank the governor so much, and for also declaring, I think the first and the last Friday as every month for workers to go to farm. It's only Ufod and I that don't, and some of us here that don't go to farm because
you can say that
we
we
are yet to get our own farm. We have to get into the rural area because there's no farm here in town. So we have to get to the rural area to make sure we acquire our own farm. So on Friday, but unfortunately, Fridays we probably will be at work here. We are not normal office.
The teachers have been given their own that you found within the school environment.
That's so we don't have farm.
Yeah. So what we need to do is, wherever you live, no matter how small it is, make sure you plant a little thing.
Make sure you have some green areas where you can just put some vegetables on the ground. And so now let's go to US. We're here in Akwa Ibom and we are traveling right down there. All right, the United States presidential candidate Donald Trump Saturday rushed offstage bleeding due to an assassination scare on him in his campaign venue at Pennsylvania, resulting in the death of 2 people, including the alleged shooter. Donald Trump was injured in what the FBI said was an attempted assassination at an election rally in Pennsylvania on Saturday evening, an act of political violence that threatens to upend an already tumultuous U.S. election race and deepen the country's polarization. The former president was injured in a volley of gunfire at 6:15 p.m. from an elevated position outside the venue, according to the U.S. Secret Service. The shoot killed 1 spectator, wounded others, all of whom were male, according to authorities. Trump was immediately rushed off stage to his motorcade with blood visible on his right ear and streaking across his cheek. He pumped his fist and shouted, "Fight!" to the crowd before being driven away. The Secret Service, which is responsible of protecting current and former presidents, said the suspected shooter had fired multiple shots towards the stage before being killed by his agent. The FBI called the incident an assassination attempt against our former president, Donald Trump. The FBI later identified the suspected shooter as Thomas Matthew Crook, 20, of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. The gunfire erupted just minutes after Trump began speaking at the rally of supporters in Butler, a rural town in northwestern Pennsylvania. Witnesses and footage suggested 7 to 8 shots were fired. And so surprising, this young man is just 20 years old and decided that because he knows to kill a former president and a presidential candidate, yes, in a current presidential candidate, and of course he knew he was going on a suicide mission. He knew he was going to die if whether he succeed or not. I think he has accepted he was going to die because that's US, not Nigeria, where anything can happen and anybody would just go scot-free. There you won't go scot-free. You will be fished out and you'll be dealt with. But what surprises me, at 20, I wish he was alive to be interviewed to know why he actually decided to take someone's life and also to end his own life.
Well, probably he may not know that he was going to die, but actually he paid the price for taking that ruthless action.
But thank God Donald Trump is still alive, and thank God for him. I'm not a fan, but thank God he survived.
Well, he's human. He
He's
shouldn't
human,
be killed.
yeah.
Now-
Shouldn't be killed, yeah.
Now, the next story, the Nigerian Bar Association section on public interest has issued a stern ultimatum to the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbeteko, demanding the immediate reversal of a controversial directive regarding vehicle registration. The directive mandates vehicle owners across the country to register and obtain a Central Motor Information Center certificates that cost not less than 6,000 naira. NBS panel chairman Don Igbokpo Martins and Secretary Femi Adeogun of the NBS section of public interest issued the call in a letter directed to the Inspector General of Police. The association questions the legal basis for the Nigerian Police Force issuance of the CRIM certificates, stating that no law had granted the police the authority to issue such licenses or certificates to vehicle owners following vehicle registration at the appropriate offices. The association demands an immediate halt to the issuance and enforcement of the CMRIS certificates, urging the Inspector General of Police to issue a directive stopping the practice nationwide. They also call for the shutdown of the registration website and physical registration centers, with refunds to be made to those who had already paid. Yes.
Offered, if you look at my face, you will see I'm already frowning. I'm angry.
As a vehicle owner?
As a vehicle owner, but I'm asking the question, is this the problem in this country?
Well,
is this a problem we should tackle at this moment? People are dying of hunger, and we are talking of registration of vehicle. We should. This country amazes me with their policies and their actions. We should look at what is, immediate and what is needed to be done, the needful, and due to the citizenry, and not just to bring more burden. People are thinking of how to buy fuel. People are thinking of how to feed their families, and we are talking about registration of vehicles.
Well, the question the NBS section here has really asked is the police a revenue generating agency? Are they trying to do the work of the federal or the Inland Revenue Service? The question is no. And so, we want to see the response of the Inspector General of Police on this matter.
All right, until then, this is where we draw the curtain today. We thank you so much for finding time to join us on Sunday News Special. We hope you really enjoy your stay with us. And from me, it's good night.
I also wish you a good night rest. Good night.